I'm Chris Maertz. I work for Instabase, where I lead our global alliances. And Instabase helps the world's largest enterprises solve really hard problems with their documents. We help understand those documents using artificial intelligence and unlock unstructured data to power downstream business processes. So I'm responsible for all of our external routes to market, and so the marketplace is obviously one of those. This is new for us, but we're looking forward to helping, not necessarily a direct route to market, but to help our existing sales teams through private offers in the marketplace. Still early, but at the moment, because we're selling to very large enterprises, almost all of them have committed spend that they have to work with. A big part of our marketplace strategy is to leverage that spend and help us, meet some of our growth projections by using that spend and co-selling with our cloud partners. So Instabase in our growth journey is, a few years since we've come out of stealth mode. We were founded actually back in 2015, but in 2019 we came out of stealth mode. We've been working, we've had a few rounds of funding. We're very much building out our go-to-market and scaling that out at this point in time, and using the marketplaces and co-selling with our cloud partners is a big part of that. It felt very obvious to us. Most of our customers have large enterprise commits with the different cloud providers. We were already co-selling with those cloud providers, and anything we can do to help remove friction from the overall procurement and sales process, it seemed like a very obvious move for us to get into the marketplace. Yeah, so marketplace in the work we're doing with Tackle, it helps add additional value to what we're doing on Instabase, I think in a couple ways. First, Instabase is already solving some really challenging problems for our customers around documents and understanding those documents. And there's a lot of noise, a lot of people competing for our customers' time and attention to solve their problems. So anything that we can do, that Tackle can help with to help remove some of the friction from that transaction, by helping us be in the marketplace and help us be present there, is additive to that overall value. It helps them meet their commit. It helps us close a deal, which helps them drive more value and get a better return on solving their problems. So in my role, I focus on working with all of our cloud providers. I own those relationships, including the relationship with Tackle. So I help support the co-sell motion, the marketplace motion, through a combination of in educating our internal teams, but also just trying to find ways to be more proactive with our cloud partners to get in front of them, to educate them and their sales teams. We chose to work with Tackle. We had a very strong recommendation from both our Azure team as well as our AWS team that we work with. Both felt very strongly about Tackle as the right company for us to partner with. But also, we want to focus on engineering of our software and of solving our customers' problems. Our experience with Tackle so far has been really solid. We try to stay very specialized in what we do. So we don't want to become experts in how to deploy to the marketplace. I have a big remit, so I also don't need to be an expert in every aspect. So Tackle's been really a good partner in just helping educate us on the go-to-market capabilities there, possibilities through working with the marketplace. So it's been great. Everyone I've encountered has been really friendly and helpful. In my role, the biggest benefit I've gotten out of working with Tackle has really just been the guidance, the consultation, the questions of how does this work in the marketplace, what can we expect? And that combined, I would say, with just helping train and build awareness with the rest of my internal teams to help them understand how it's going to fit into our business. So I think the technology is great. We could have gotten there if we needed to, but I think having the consultation, the guidance has been the biggest help for us from Tackle. There is a cost of entry, but the ability to remove the friction from the procurement process is going to, erase that cost of entry very quickly. More and more companies are, focusing their cloud spend and focusing their overall spend through allotments to the cloud. And we recently talked to a customer in the federal space where they are requiring all of their purchases to go through the private marketplaces to ensure that they've already been vetted. So, I think we're going to see more of that, as companies want to streamline. I focus more on the commercial space. I think we're going to start seeing that there as well, that the marketplace is where companies are going to use them as a way to control and curate the tools that they've already approved. As a scale-up, the marketplaces are building credibility in a couple ways. First, it's not necessarily with the customers, but with our co-selling partners. The sales execs at our cloud partners being in the marketplace immediately gives us some credibility there. Of course, there's more incentive for them in that, but we've already seen, just having our first listing live, have already seen the benefit of the credibility there. And then credibility with our customers, again, I think they also understand that in order to get in the marketplace, our solution needed to be vetted. We as an organization have been vetted by another technology partner of theirs already. Being in the marketplace just seems very natural place for us, even if we're not transacting every deal there. To our customers, knowing that we are there and we've gone through that vetting, I think is a credibility driver. What we try to prioritize from co-selling is just having not the buy-in, but collaborating with our cloud partners is really key to us. Again, most of our customers, very large enterprises, have very large commits with these organizations. They're very complex, multi-global or multinational global organizations. When we're co-selling with AWS or with Azure, they have an intimate understanding of those organizations that we may still be needing to understand. So that collaboration, I think, is really valuable from the co-selling with our cloud partners. Tackle has helped us with sales enablement throughout the entire process, but actually just this morning we had our most recent session with our customer success manager to our entire field sales team, and we used that as an opportunity to help not only just explain the tactical piece of working with the marketplace, but giving overall background and of the value of the marketplaces and how organizations are committing more to cloud spend. And so that's been super helpful in getting people excited about using the marketplace. Outside of the actual marketplace piece, I've really found value in the state of the cloud marketplace, just some of the thought leadership from Tackle. I think Tackle has done a great job of positioning itself as a thought leader in that space through having exposure to so many different companies. I'm actually really looking forward to some of the networking events, the Tackle networking events, to connect with some other ISVs and both learn from them of their experiences, but also look for potential partners, people that we can go to business with. So I think Tackle's building a really great ecosystem that I'm excited to be part of as well. For me personally, Tackle has been extremely valuable in helping me, I think, already have an impact in the company. I'm up until a few weeks ago, I was one person with a global remit for building out our alliances. And I could say pretty confidently there's no way I would have been able to get us into the marketplace if I was responsible for all of that on our own. And the guidance from Tackle is really helpful there, and so it's helped me show the rest of the company how alliances and partnerships external to our company can help drive an impact.